In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
A great benefit about giving media credentials at SHOT Show is that we have access to the media room. This is not just a room where everybody gets to sit around and trade stories and who did we interview, who did we take pictures of. No, this is a complete digital resource center. Everything that's in this room has been sponsored by TrueVelocity. They're an ammunition manufacturer that does a composite cased ammunition. We're going to be in their booth later on today to take a look at some of what they offer and maybe get a little bit of range time later in the afternoon. But for now, I just wanted to give you an idea of what we're dealing with from a media point of view. From here, we have our digital area. Behind us here is all the computers that are all set up with every manufacturer has their complete product line, all their photographs, their information. Everything is supplied on these computers that we're able to download all the information so we don't have to collect hundreds and hundreds of brochures and then go back and research them later. Along with that, we have all of our Wi-Fi connections, everything that allows us to upload directly to the internet so we can get our videos processed in a timely fashion. And if you want to know just how many people are over here, I'm going to step a little further away and I want you to look at this room. When we got here this morning, there were about 250 people from the media organizations that are over here taking advantage of what we have been provided for us. And fortunately, one of the best things that's provided for us, breakfast. Not exactly ham and eggs, but you know what? When you're on the go, you got to have yourself a whole lot of carbs to load up on, so every kind of pastry you can imagine is here. Fruits, cereals, coffee, tea, especially tea. There's a lot of people here from England. You wouldn't believe how many people you're representing for Great Britain coming to this event. And you'll see behind me this guy is doing exactly what we are doing now. But we just wanted to give a shout out to TrueVelocity and say thank you very much for providing us with the resources that we need to bring all of this to you. So if you guys want to give them a shout, check them out online. We'll be in their booth later on to do an interview, and you could, get a first-hand look at what they bring to the table. All right, here we are over at TrueVelocity Ammunition's booth and with John Mullins. TrueVelocity is a pretty unique company when it comes to ammunition manufacturing. John's here to give us a little explanation as to what is so significantly different about their ammunition versus conventional brass cases. John, thank you for taking the time to talk to us today.
Very well.
What kind of just give us a brief background on what we could expect to find with a TrueVelocity brand.
TrueVelocity is a company that started out in the R&D on this process about 10 years ago. They wanted to be able to perfect a polymer-cased ammunition that was significantly less weight than brass ammunition, and that offered a number of other things that are very helpful to the end user. The weight reduction is on the average about 30% less than brass, which for instance, a fully loaded Blackhawk, it gives you about 480 pounds less. So that's 2 soldiers or a lot more loader time. For the individual soldier, it's also going to cut his load, and they're already carrying too much load now. So that was the primary part of it. The other things that we found with it is that it actually increases accuracy. It is cleaner burning than standard brass ammunition. There's far less environmental impact because you don't have smelters and all the rest of it. The polymer is the same stuff that you use for your microphones and anything else that's plastic these days. So the clean burn is make sure that there's no excess powder, which is this not unburnt, which is very important for close quarter battle practice because that stuff gets on the floor and then you can actually start a fire while you're in there with that unburnt powder.
What calibers are currently available?
Right now we go from 50 caliber all the way down to 5.56.
And this would be...
That is the 50 caliber.
All right, now this 50 they were explaining to me is loaded with the approximate weight that you would have in the powder that would be in there. And I can tell you from holding this, with the actual... Now, what's the grain bullet that's being used in this cartridge?
That one is about 560 grams.
All right, so 560 gram bullet in this. I can tell you this is a significant difference when it comes to the brass case ammo that I felt of the same weight. And we have a couple of other ones. I see that we also have...
That's the new one. That is the 6.8, which the Army is going to in their new combat battle rifle. It gives extended range, far extended range over the 5.56. That is the current round that is used in the infantry. So instead of only being able to shoot realistically out to about 300 meters, that'll go out to about 600 meters, which closes off the gap between us and our adversaries. There in Afghanistan and in Iraq, we're fighting against Soviet Union legacy weapons, which have substantially more range than the rounds that we were using.
It's not exactly urban warfare in a lot of scenarios out there. A lot of that is...
Part of it is.
A lot of it has distance.
Yeah, part of it is, but part of it is not. And we see it in Afghanistan in particular. They get up on a ridge line and start just popping rounds down at the troops, and we can't reach them, not with the 5.56 that we have.
Oh, that's going to definitely make a difference when it comes to being able to reach out and touch somebody. That's for sure.
Reach out and touch them in the best kind of way.
Well, the best kind of way for us, the worst kind of way for them. Now, are there any plans for any pistol type of ammunition?
At this stage, no, because the weight reduction really doesn't mean a lot in the pistol. You don't carry that much pistol ammunition. Okay. So we have no huge advantage over that.
Well, I did notice one advantage that I see that this has over brass that I can tell you. When it comes to sweeping up your range, we noticed, I said, what is the material of the rim of the cartridge made of? And he tells me,
stainless steel.
So when it's at the end of the day and you've been popping off a lot of rounds, rather than having to worry about sweeping them all up, if you got yourself a magnetic roller, it makes it a lot easier to pick these things up. And that's also not going to have to worry about your extractors grabbing a hold of an aluminum case and ripping them right off, and you don't have to worry about fouling out your rifle. So that's pretty nice. Now, if all goes well tonight, we're actually going to be heading over to the range and trying some of this stuff out. If we have the time, we're praying the buses are running on schedule. But we're going to put these things to the test and get some of them on camera. So, John, thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome.
And by the way, this is the company that was nice enough to supply us with breakfast up in the media room for the last couple of days, along with some of our other amenities that we have, which we're... an extreme comfort in an otherwise uncomfortable environment.
Well, you're serving a good cause, so we're happy to do it.
Yes, we are. Thanks again from TrueVelocity, signing out.
Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the founding fathers.